Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to SnB's F1 series here for round 9 at the French Grand Prix. One of the oldest motor races in the world, as well as the first Grand Prix. This track is a challenge to drivers as they try to make their way through the tricky but long flowing curves while saving tires. Want to see what the French Grand Prix is all about? Let's check it out as these guys are already at qualifying.
As the drivers begin to climb into their cars down on the grid, the excitement is really building at this magnificent circuit. We're just about ready to go racing for today's Formula One Grand Prix. 6 lefts and 9 rights give us a total of 15 corners here at the circuit Paul Ricard, and a lap covers an overall distance of 3.6 miles. Average speeds will be somewhere in the region of 142 miles per hour, and they'll be maxing out on the Mistral straight at around 205 miles per hour.
There you have it, your way around the French Grand Prix. We have these guys at qualifying. 27 laps on schedule for tonight, and I can tell you in practice, this is a fun track. Very winding, very curvy ways that this track flows through the S's. It's very fast, but you do have to watch the tires and how they wear. So the fastest times are going to be Justin in practice with a 1:30.8. We had Culture up there, Jacob, Hawk, JC, all of these guys with super fast laps. I want to see what they can do in qualifying, as some of these drivers did not attend practice and had a late entry actually directly before this session had started. So it's going to be super close to see. You guys know it if you've kept up with the season. Rangers has absolutely dominated this season. Out of 9 races, he has won 8 of them. I want to thank you guys for tuning in tonight. I know the drivers appreciate it. I appreciate it. Hope you're having a great one. Bindia, thank you so much for the follow. I really appreciate it. Hope you're doing well out there. Like I said, I've told the drivers, I think this is one of the easier races that we have come across so far this season. Let's go on board with a couple of these drivers out here. Jacob was one of the ones among the fastest. He was the top 3 in pace laps out and laps out here for practice. Oh, going through, wow. A lot of these guys are on the soft tires. You see Bloomy, Hawk, and also Skyland out in the mediums out here. So gonna be some different strategies. No surprise here, Rangers the fastest so far in qualifying with a 1:30.7. We'll see what he can do out here. We have Hokey Fan with a 1:31.3, Jacob with a 1:31.5, and Gary from Canada with a 1:34.7. I'm assuming that we're going to have different strategies with tire wear and what they take on the pit lane. I think we're going to see 2 stops out here, soft to mediums, or if you want to just make it a 1 stop, soft to hards. Some of these drivers were saying how they were not any good on the hard tires, so those drivers may want to do a 2-stop race and try to avoid the hard tires and go to mediums. It'll be interesting to see the different strategies. We have guys out here like Skyland and J Mac Attack who like to play a little bit of fuel strategy out here. Not fuel strategy, but tire strategy, and try to make it last as long as they possibly can. So I want to see tonight if that is going to be a strategy that they bring to the track here. We're gonna go ahead and put myself in the party. I just saw that I am chatting on there, so hopefully they don't hear me. Ranger still holding out with a 1:30.7. JC with a 1:31.0. We have Hokey Fan with a 1:31.3. 1:31.5 for Jacob. These times are looking very, very close. Leaf Justin, who was the fastest for a while in practice, he moves up into second with a 130.8. Just a 10th off of Ranger. So, guys, Justin is out here third in the point standing. So it's going to be interesting to see how he does tonight. I know he would love to bring home another podium as he has been very, very strong this season. So we'll see how that works out for him. Savage, how are you tonight? No, I don't hate you. I can't even hear it tonight. I have it on a different sound mode since I'm on this, so I can't hear it, but I see that you used it. For the driver standings, we have Rangers out there with 180 points. Mayor of Bag City, he has 144, sitting in second. Leave Justin in third with 93 points. JDM Hawk has 74 points. Skyland in fifth with 73. So very, very close race with these guys. Culture also has 73 points. So fourth, fifth, and sixth, we see these guys on track a lot together. And it's no different in the points. So we'll see if that gets separated tonight. Jacob is in seventh with 51. Hokey Fan has 39 points, sitting P8. J-Mac Attack in ninth with 24 points. And JC rounding out the top 10 with 19 points. We are missing a couple of drivers that we usually see out here. David MC is one of those, so we'll be missing him tonight. Constructor standings, though. Ferrari is leading with 195 points, with Mercedes 183 points. And rounding out the top three is going to be Alpine with 147 points. Savage, I'm glad you're doing good. Always getting those sound effects to good use. We have 27 laps tonight out here. 10 minutes left in qualifying. Look at Mayor of Bag City answering back with a 130.07 tenths in front of our once pole leader here, Rangers. So that's going to be interesting to see if Rangers will be able to take that time and trim some of it off here. Let's go on board with him at the moment. He is on his outlap out here. Savage, I hope you're enjoying the summer. We had some wild storms out here today. It's looking pretty wild out there. Ranger's still on that outlet lap, so, ooh, bends it coming off the exit there. That will definitely hurt him as he is trying to get all he can out of that. Culture on pit road. A lot of these guys are on pit road. Jacob, he is out on track, sitting P7 currently with a 131.5. So far, we have about 4 130s out here. A few 131s, and then it goes on from there. Mayor of Bag City and Rangers. These two are always battling it out. Really, really fun to watch. It'll be interesting to see, will Mayor be able to pull out another win tonight? He's already got one. We'll see if he can get another. Next week, we do have Austria, the Red Bull Ring, so it's going to be fun to watch that one out here for round 10. This series has 16 races, so the points, you got to make sure that you can get every position out of each race that you can. Those points are becoming ever so important as these drivers are nearing just over the halfway point for this season. A lot of drivers are on pit road. I'm kind of interested to see what tires they will be coming out on track with. We have Bloomy with mediums, Hawk, Liebert, Skyland, all with mediums. The rest of these guys are on the soft tire compounds. 4 drivers still currently on the board with a 130. 2 of them extremely close. JDM Culture and Justin with a 138.83 and 0.87. You guys know I always say it when you see these lap times and qualifying, It's going to show you who's going to be so close in the race. Who are the battles that we're going to see? I think Culture, Justin are going to be some of these battles. We have JC, Hokey, Jacob, all within that range. I think we're going to see these guys in a pack together on track. You can always count on some great racing throughout. Dion has yet to make a lap. Hawk and on pit lane, Stanton, Liebert, Skyland. These guys have yet to make a lap. Rangers pulling it on to pit lane. Only one driver out currently, and that's going to be Dion for dub. He's currently on the board. P8 with a 131.8. JRMs, what's up? How are you? We're supposed to get some storms in the afternoon. Yeah. I don't know if you're east of me, but the ones that we got today were pretty wild. We had some hail, a lot of lightning. I love storms. I absolutely love storms. Dion still one of the only ones out on track. We have Culture. He is on his out lap along with J Mac Attack, Hawk, and Stanton Drums. Skyland coming out. Mayor of Bag City still holding out the fastest with a 130.0. We'll see what he can do. I want to see these guys give Rangers some competition. He has just been so extremely dominating this season. I want to see somebody else. I told him tonight, I'm like, guys, you got to give him a run for his money. Get this win tonight. All right, let's visit some other drivers out here. Justin, currently sitting P4, 130.8, very, very close to Culture. We talked about it already. He is on his outlap along with Culture and Rangers. Liebert, you're not going to do a lap. Are you just going to... You're one of the only ones on medium tires right now. So you're just going to hang out in the back and let all the chaos happen in front of you, miss it, and just go on up to P5, right? You had such a great race the last race we had. I was so heartbroken at the end, though. That was brutal. I'm pretty sure that was the last race. You've had a few great runs, and something happens. Justin still on that outlap. A little under 4 minutes for qualifying as these guys are rounding out these times out here. A lot of 130s, a lot of 131s. So these times are very, very close tonight. This is one of these races where I would love to race in it. Flowing turns, a lot of speed into these turns. You have to whoa it up to make some of the sharper ones, but overall, you carry a lot of speed throughout this track. You just gotta look at your boundaries, make sure that you are doing what you need. Speaking of boundaries, Justin. Oh my gosh. I think I'm gonna start on the hards and I'm back on a wheel, so it should be better than last one I was on a controller. I gotcha. I just saw you leave. I'm sure we'll get you back in. Kind of a big gap between first and second. We'll see if Rangers can bring that down a little bit, but 7/10 and between first and second, and these guys are usually on top of each other, so very interesting to see. We have Culture, Justin, JC, all of these guys so extremely close. I mean, within 0.3 of a second. I don't think you can get much closer than that for the top 5 here. You just retired. I didn't leave, just starting. Oh, okay. So if you want to start at the back, you just retire. Is that how that works? Yeah, I'm learning new things every day. If you guys have the 2022 game, let me know. I know I saw on here that it was out and I clicked on it and it said it was like $80 for the Champion Edition. Woo! I heard it's a good game, though. Culture looking strong out here. A lot of these guys, man, they leave me heartbroken. Having great runs and then something happens to them. So I'm hoping tonight is the race for some of these drivers to make a comeback. Culture and Justin so extremely close together. We'll see if he can't keep that third spot once qualifying is over here. See these two pretty close on the map together. Justin entering Sector 3 as we have Culture already in Sector 3. Yes, I want to see you finish, Libert. I'd love to see you in the booth after the race, so that's my goal for you. I have not tried this game on a wheel, though. It's got to be a lot of fun, I would imagine. Let me know in chat, who do you think's gonna win? Who is your driver? J-Mac Attack on pit road, Skyland, Bloomy, Gary, Stanton Drums, all on pit road. Stanton Drums and Libert, the only drivers to not put down a lap. Bloomy retired from the session here. 25 seconds left on the board to make a time here. Then they'll have about 2 minutes to finish up if they're out on a lap. Looks like Mayor of Bag City is going to hold out the fastest time of the night and qualifying with a 1:30.049. Culture passes up Rangers. He's going to get a 1:30.648. Rangers a 1:30.7. We'll see if they can lower those times. Rangers does it. He answers back. It's a 1:30.015. He's going to take over the pole position. Mayor of Bag City in second with a 1:30.049. Culture's still out. We'll see what his lap is. So far, a 1:30.6. Can he improve it here? Travis, what's up? He says, Bag City all the way, baby. David, we are missing you out here. That's for sure. All right, we see Culture. He is not going to be able to do it. Jacob, though, he is going to move on to the third spot. He's got a 1:30.5. Man, these times are so incredibly close. What a massive drive by these guys in qualifying. The competition between first, second, third, and fourth is just going to be absolutely insane. David, hope you're doing well out there. I'm excited about this race. I think it's going to be close. These flowing turns, like I said, it's going to be very, very fast. If they can survive the first lap, I think we will go pretty well green throughout the entire race. 1:22 seconds. Justin has retired. Bloomy has retired. Now, I assume that means these three drivers want to go to the back, possibly? I don't know. I don't know how that works. If you have a time already on the board, maybe you keep it. All right, you guys have it. Rangers on pole with a 1:30.015. Mayor of Bag City going to be in second with a 1:30.049. Jacob in third. Culture in fourth. Leaf Justin in fifth. He's going to round out your top 5. And 6, we have JC, Pokey Fan in 7th. JDM Hawk in 8th. Dion 4 Dub in 9th. And J Mac Attack is going to round out the top 10. Skyland in 11th. Bloomy in 12th. Gary from Canada in 13th. Stanton Drums in 14th. Most of these drivers have decided to go on the softs. We only have one driver on the mediums. So it'll be fun to watch these guys just go all out for every single lap, trying to get all they can. I don't know how many laps the soft tires can get, I do know that the hard tire compound is supposed to get 17 laps. We'll see if they can make that happen for some of these that choose the hard compound. David had to stay with family, so not able to race, but still here to help out and support. I know they appreciate it, absolutely. All right. These guys are gonna make their lap out here. Waiting for all the drivers. David, I gotta ask, how confident are you in this track if you had to race it? I feel like it's a super fun track. Like I said, a lot of speed, flowing turns. You can spin, but man, there's not a lot of stuff around you, not a lot of walls or anything that can harm your car. So as long as you watch out for the car next to you, you guys should be okay. All right, these guys are getting ready to get lined up here. David, if you want in here, I will be happy to get you in. There's an invite if you want it. If not, no worries. Rangers and May are so extremely close. A lot of these guys up to 5th and 6th, so it's going to be a tight race, I think. I'd be more comfortable here than Baku. The only win so far for Mayor of Bag City is going to be Australia. We saw Rangers struggle there, so interesting to see how that worked out for him. Rangers has won every single race since then. Could tonight be the race that Mayor wins, making it his second race, or will we have a new winner? You know, I love to see new winners. These guys are making their way around the final turn, getting to the start finish, getting ready to grid up before the lights go out. Thank you guys once again for tuning in. I know these drivers really appreciate it. Here they come down the grid. Rangers on pole, Mayor of Bag City gonna be in 2nd, Jacob in 3rd, Culture in 4th, and Justin gonna be out there in the top 5. Let's go on board with Rangers as these guys get ready to go racing here for 27 laps at the French Grand Prix. They're sitting on board with the pole sitter here. And the lights are out at the French Grand Prix. Rangers already on it. You see him get a little loose there as the tire's swirling around. Jacob gonna be in 2nd. Let's go back with him. Very, very tight race between competitors here and teammates. Jacob and Mayor of Bag City. We already have a caution in Sector 1 here. It looks like it's gonna be Culture. He was out here in the front for qualifying. He falls back very, very hard all the way to the final spot here. Gary from Canada directly in front of him. Really unfortunate to see. See how he makes a comeback here tonight, but Rangers already out to a half a second lead. Jacob in 2nd. Mayor of Bag City, who is Jacob's teammate, he's going to be in 3rd. Justin in 4th. JDM Hawk in 5th. JC in 6th. Hokie Fan in 7th. A lot of tight racing for these guys. Take a look at this train out here. David, if you need an invite, another invite, let me know. Very, very long line here. Let's go on board with Hawk, currently sitting P5. He's got Justin directly in front of them. Once we head to the second lap, we will be able to use the DRS. We have 67 laps for the soft tires here. These guys will be making a pit stop. Around 6-7 laps, it looks like. Culture down 10 spots, but he makes his way past Gary from Canada. The fastest lap is going to be Rangers with a 1:39.6. Let's go on board with Jacob. I mean, I am just blown away here, having a fantastic run so far. I know we're only on lap 2 of 27. Plenty of time left. This is one of these tracks too, where you can receive a lot of penalties. So these drivers are going to have to watch that. We've already seen 3 drivers get a 3-second time penalty. Hookie Fan, Dion, and Liebert. Not what you want to see. You want to make sure that you can keep all the positions you can. We talked about it earlier. These point standings, a lot of competition in these, so they need to make sure that they can get everything that they can out of this. Justin left the session. I'm assuming lagged out. We'll see if he can't make his way back in. Mayor of Bag City still in third. The racing is just incredibly close so far tonight. These teammates looking very, very strong out here for Ferrari. Rangers kind of a lone wolf out here for his team. He now has J-Mac Attack, who's sitting P10, but before J-Mac had joined the crew, his teammate has not been found for a while, which was Tom Flitty. Culture down 9 spots, but up 2 from his earlier incident. I don't know if he just waited or what happened. This is where I wish we had replays for these guys. Doing a great job so far. Mayor of Bag City is going to take over the lead. Wow, what a run for him. Jacob falls down 11 spots. Ranger's going to be in second. Some of these guys, Culture and Jacob, falling really, really hard through the field. Jacob is going to be 14th. We have Culture, who has moved up to 11th. A lot of racing left. Lap 3 of 27. Plenty of time to make their way back, but man, that is not what you want to see at the beginning of a race. Take a look at Mayor of Bag City. We saw these guys go back and forth on the last race. Rangers just all over the back bumper of Mayor of Bag City, putting the pressure on him. I will not be surprised if we see these guys just go back and forth with the lead here. Mayor of Bag City with the fastest lap at a 1:33. All right, you can see these guys. Hawk is going to have a 3.7 gap between him and second place. So the only thing that these top 2 guys have to worry about is each other. No surprise here. Let's take a look at these guys. Hawk is leading this crew, and he's got some battling going on up here with Hawk and JC. They were side by side headed into the S's there. Justin directly behind him. You can see these guys stacked on top of each other. Noah, how are you? Hope you're doing well. Thank you for lurking. Appreciate it. David, I just saw you get in here. How are you? Justin's still very, very close to JC and Hawk. He's just hoping that these two just try to make it past each other and waste some time. He can close that gap and hopefully sneak on by if anything happens to these two. Dion up 3 positions to P6, so he's having a solid night so far. Cookie Fan holding out in 7th. J-Mac Attack up 2 positions from where he started, sitting P8. Skylan up 2 positions. Culture still trying to make his way back through the field. I love, love, love the racing that we see through these drivers. Culture, take a look. P9, he makes his way through past Skylan. These 3 racing extremely hard. Culture making up another position from where he started. Stan Drums behind him in 10th. Looks like a battle brewing up here between these 3 once again. JC, Leaf, Justin. Very, very tight for these guys. Hawk is still leading this crew here. I want to go on board with JC. He's gonna have to get a great run heading out of these exits here. Hawk seems to be really good on exits. JC having a great entries for these. Dion 4 dub. Time penalty here for multiple warnings. Pokey Fan, our first taker for pit lane, along with Skylan. These guys are gonna drop back. I want to go on board with Mayor of Bag City. He is increasing that gap. Take a look at this. Almost a second in front of Rangers. Stratus, how are you? Great to see you. Yeah, it has been a while. I hope you're doing good. David, do we have you in here yet? I think he's in just yet. David is supposed to be out on track. Had to miss the race tonight. He's not near his racing equipment. Decided he'd join me in the booth. We just haven't had him in here yet. On board with Rangers, and you can see he's kind of keeping that gap about even. Closed it just a little bit, but Mayor is extremely strong here tonight. We've seen this a few times where Mayor will lead several laps. Something will happen with him. He goes on to pit lane. Take a look at this. Rangers is going to come out the leader once this is all over and he comes in. We'll see how Mayor of Bag City, how he comes out. Rangers was on a different strategy last week. I'm going to take a look at the tire compound here. Mayor is going to come out on the medium tire compound. Stanton Drums on mediums. Bloomy on hards along with Libert. These guys are in it for the long haul. You're supposed to get about 17 laps. We'll see if they can make that happen. Riz, how are you? Thank you for the sub. I appreciate it. Wednesday Racing. We're on F1 tonight. Doing okay. Been super busy. How are you? I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Enjoying summer. Enjoying racing. All right. I got you, David. We'll get you another invite here. Another penalty out here. Stanton Drums, 3-second time penalty. Again, these guys are going to have to watch out. These penalties can add up, and this is a track where they can sneak up on you. You really have to mind those curbs, not overstep the boundaries here. Pokey Fan, time penalty for him. Vulture is going to move up to second. Rangers, he is on pit road also now. We'll see if he comes out with the mediums. Mayor of Bag City got the medium tire compound. Yep, there he goes on the mediums. He joined, he left, he joined. I can hear echoes. David, are you there? JC takes it to the lead. Stanton Drums about 6 seconds behind. Liebert up in third. Take a look at this. He chose to not qualify. He wanted to start in the back all the way up to third at the moment. He is going to be on the hard compound. "12 spots gained between Liebert and Stanton. Absolutely incredible. Jacob loses 10 spots. Heartbreaking here. I'm kind of curious when we're going to see our top drivers. JC, Stanton, Liebert, Mayer. Mayer already went in, so he's in fourth, doing really well. Bloomy is the only one in between our top two guys at the start of the race, Mayer and Rangers. So we'll see where they end up after all of these guys have made their stop onto pit lane. I think it's going to vary tonight with the strategies, though. Riz says, currently trying to capture my indignant cat. She's going to win this battle. I can only imagine. David, you got a copy yet?
Yeah, I do, yep.
All
I think
right.
you got me.
Nice. Are you able to watch the race at all?
I am, hopefully. This is the problem when I'm not on my home station, so to speak. I have to set everything on a different location, and well, as they always say, you fail to prepare, prepare to fail, and that's exactly what I'm doing right now.
Nice. We have a very close race here tonight. It's a lot of fun. I kind of figured with all the qualifying times that we were going to see some close racing, and yeah, absolutely. Stanton Drums is now in the lead. I'm going to assume that JC went on to pit road. Stanton Drums in first, Liebert in second, Mayor of Bag City. He's going to be in third. He passes Liebert for second. First time penalty for J Mac Attack, who's currently sitting P13. So what are some of the tricky spots in this track, you think, David?
It's like this. If you look at it exactly, it doesn't exactly look like a tricky track because it doesn't really present as many hazards as you would like a Baku last week, where there's no the walls aren't closed in. There's not even any gravel tracks. It's pretty much just all, or for the most part, just very level. But that can be a bit misleading. It's any one of those tracks is like. If you don't know the layout, you could be very it's very, very likely you'll be cutting the track, and that's, yeah, you don't want to do.
Yeah, I feel like some of these turns it's easy to miss or overdrive or take wide and get those penalties. So there's a lot of turns, a lot of flowing turns, but there are some tricky spots, especially right where here through Mayor of Bag City. Ferrari driver, where he just went, that is a tricky spot for some of these drivers as they're in sector 1. So we'll see how they handle it throughout the night, but look at how many drivers are on medium tires right now. Liebert still on those hards. We're going to see him be on that for a while. Bloomy also, but the rest of these guys are on mediums. J Mac Attack and Skyline are on the softs, and yeah, we're going to see how long these guys can last on the mediums, but take a look at this battle brewing up. So extremely close back here.
I will say, actually, as a personal experience now, I know you're talking about all the softs and mediums and all that. I would say, in terms of speed in the cars, the difference between soft and medium isn't exactly that big. If you're using the hards, it's definitely noticeable. But you would be surprised if, like, some of these races, you can even see it in the races, it was to know that You switch to the mediums, you can still be as quick, if not quicker, on the mediums as you are on the softs. It doesn't matter of the car control. So, if you see the mediums, don't think it's gonna go any slower. Just keep an eye out for that.
Interesting. Ranger just made a pass for second. Yeah, I bet we're gonna have to watch those tire compounds, see how they perform on those and their lap times out here. But Rangers moves up to P2, Liebert in third, Bloomy in fourth, Hawk in fifth, up 3 spots. And it looks like so far Liebert is going to be the biggest mover of the race. He is up 12 spots from where he started. He went to the back of the field, chose not to qualify, and he's already up to third. He is on his wheel tonight. You saw him in chat saying he thinks he'll do better than last week. And so far, knock on wood, he is.
Actually, also another interesting note, if those don't know, is that the difference between racing on a wheel and racing on the controller, it is pretty common to know that if you're on a wheel, you do a much better job of protecting the tires. So, if you're on a controller, you may be at a slight disadvantage, but like I said, especially in a race like this where tire strategy is very important. If you start on those softs, it may only go maybe 7 or 8 laps. On the controller, you may be losing a lap if you're on the controller. So
right, I feel like you're a lot smoother in the corners than you are on a controller, so I can absolutely see where that tire wear may be a little bit more for those that are on the controller. Liebert with a... Go ahead.
I was gonna say, when you're on your controller, you're more likely to, like, you don't have the precision of going around the corners. You're more likely to either go very straight or turn the wheel as much as you want, and the more you turn it, the more you're putting wear on those tires. So, something to take into account there.
Absolutely. We have a couple of drivers out here with a 9-second time penalty. Liebert, 9 seconds. Bloomy has none. So that is definitely going to affect him. If the race ended right now, he would definitely be affected as far as his position goes. Pokey Fan also has 9 seconds. And we see Justin on the board with a 3-second time penalty. But man, the penalties out here, they're handing them out like candy. It is absolutely insane. I know that you have to watch these curbs. If you go through it, across it, over it, you're going to get a time penalty.
Yeah, the strict lines on the strict track limits on here, and those, even if they vary slightly, because you know these drivers, they are trying to push as much as they can those corners, trying to go as much as they can inside or outside, and just even the slightest bit too much will trigger the 3-second penalty, as Dion just got a 3-second penalty just now. And it's and the rules here, it's 3 track warnings, just 3. A little bit too far on the inside. Do that 3 times, you will get 3 seconds.
Right.
And I'm sure it'll be super frustrating if you're trying to get the fastest lap.
We're gonna go on board with JC. We've talked about this all race, but he is in a 3-way battle for P5. These guys extremely close with the racing. We saw them very similar times in qualifying. So no surprise here that we see these guys on top of each other, but take a look at this other battle we have. J-Mac Attack on top of Hokey Fan. Dion just a little bit off, not too far off, but we do have some great battles that are out here right now. J-Mac trying to go on the outside, going into the corner here. He's going to make a pass. That's going to be for P9 over Hokey Fan. Looks like they're trying to go too wide once again, and it's going to be extremely close. No, Hokey Fan's going to hold back a little bit. These guys are starting to get higher gaps between. J-Mac taking that super wide. That is going to allow Hokey Fan to make a pass. Once again, J-Mac is going to fall back to P10. Great job for Hokey Fan taking advantage of J-Mac's mistake there. Dion for dub. He is right behind J-Mac Attack as that battle was going on. He closed up that gap, and he is right on the heels of 10th and 9th. So looking at these drivers, David, how do you feel they're doing? Who do you think we're going to see as the winner? And I know it's kind of early.
Just looking up ahead of Hawk and Justin and JC. 3 of them closing in very tightly on going around the corner there.
Yes.
And with a 3-second penalty just coming up as well. It's very good to see all the battles going in. You've got Rangers staying close together. You've got Hog, Justin, JC all fighting within the second and a half of the three of them. Oki, J, Mac, and Dion within the second, with Staten coming in as well. You just gotta love to see this kind of racing.
Absolutely. JC is in there with, we have 4 drivers out here, so very, very close for these guys. I want to see Bloomy. He is leading that group there. A little bit of gap between him and Hawk, but man, these guys, anything could change. You make a single tiny mistake, and the guys behind you are absolutely going to take advantage of that. So you do have to mind your P's and Q's out on track. Make sure that you run it very, very tight. As any mistake, it will allow these drivers to possibly gain a position over you.
And it's like if you were looking back at series today, you saw that double pass of Lewis, and Reese got some trouble here. Looks like
Justin spins right in that battle between these 4 drivers, and he spun it. No damage for him, but it's gonna. I couldn't tell that there was any contact, but it's gonna cost him a few positions here.
Unfortunately, see that, but I don't really think there was. If there was any contact, any malice, you see the 3 of them were fighting really close together, and sometimes if you just get a bit too close, it's, well, you're gonna get together, and something like that's gonna happen. You have to really be careful when you make those moves, because if you make it at the wrong time, yeah, it's gonna cost you.
So true. Bloomy still holding out in 4th. He's got Hawk just all over his heels. He's gonna make a move to the outside. Take a look at this. Very, very close. He makes the pass. He goes for P4. Bloomy falls back to P5. These guys very much still in a battle here. JC
going on the straight, trying to overtake Dion, going over 10th place. He gets it, and I think I was looking at Stat in the cockpit. I don't know if he forced Dion off the track or not, but either way, Dion got a 3-second penalty for going off the track, and just as Rangers gets one as well as the leader. And let's say you look at the penalties there to see what the difference is.
Yeah, there's a few heavy penalties out here.
Yeah, Rangers is getting 3-second penalty as it stands right now. Mayer will win if the cap stays like this, even though he is behind Rangers on the track.
Lap 15 of 27. Still more racing. Still more penalties to be had if these drivers continue on with that. And I know I've asked this before, but I would love to know if there's a limit to how many penalties you can get before they maybe disqualify you. I don't know if that's a thing out here, but it'll be interesting to see. But take a look. This battle, so extremely close between 1st and 2nd. And as David said, if this is the race right here, Rangers would lose the lead and the win here tonight at the French Grand Prix. So Mayer, he's got to hold on to that, keep it clean, keep away from the penalties. Still quite a few laps left, David.
Yeah, and actually, looking at it as well, Hawk is like 7.5 seconds behind Liebert right now. However, he has a 6-second penalty advantage over Liebert. So if he able to close that gap as well, he could be able to snatch the podium spot.
Absolutely. Liebert has been hit heavily by the penalties. Dion 4Dub has a 12-second penalty on him. That will most definitely give away his position to Stanton Drums.
You got Rangers and Mayer fighting each other, going for the lead.
Side by side battle between Rangers and Mayer. These guys still going into the corner. Rangers still going to take the lead. Mayer in 2nd, but man, oh man, Mayer just going to fight tooth and nail to try to gain that lead here. He wants another win, has won so far this season. He wants to make it too, David.
You can probably see there may have been a little bit of desperation in Rangers that he may try to defend his position, got a little bit off the track again, going on to the 2nd straight there, and they got him another penalty, so I'm not really sure if he's getting a bit frazzled now. It may have been so close and so far away, but yeah, he really has to watch those track limits. I don't think he can take any more penalties. He's already got 6-second disadvantage there, which could prove costly to go into the final 11 laps.
Yeah, Rangers has one lap newer tires than Mayer of Bag City, both on medium tire compound. So They should be pretty even in time. JDM Hawk about 17 seconds behind. He just got a 3-second penalty here. Gonna be extremely close for these guys. Let's take a look at those penalties.
We're taking a look at, we see some drivers doing the rounds of pit stops. Hoagie, Jacob, and we're Stanton as well, all going in. Actually, one Stanton was Jacob, but Hoagie, they're both going in the pits. Hoagie just going out now, Jacob's coming out now. That could change the pace as well, and be interesting to see how that's going to affect the positions going into the final stretch here. And also see how many others are going to be coming in really soon with how worn these tires could be. Even though we have some drivers in tire or medium tires are 9 laps, 10 laps. I mean, it'd be interested to see if they can be able to last another 10 laps with these. I mean, Bloomy on hards with 16 tires, even though they're the hard tires the most durable. You just to see if we'd be willing to go the rest of the race with them. With the same compound, or they need to change them.
Yeah, I mean, the hard compounds are said to be only lasting about 17 laps, so he will have to make a stop here coming up very shortly. He's already, I don't know if he pit earlier. I kind of want to see. Let's take a look.
I'll take a look at it for you.
He has not pit yet. He's the only driver, and he goes to pit road. Justin also on pit road.
Now we see how the strategy goes with tires. And also see softs and mediums, I'm sure. With 10 laps to go, can they be able to stretch the soft set into the race?
Our drivers in the back. Yeah. All our drivers in the back, except for Gary from Canada, do have 2 stops.
On Mayer for the lead. Able to get it, but he has an advantage. He's going to have to make that gap. If we keep bringing back and forth like this, it could play in the Mayor's hands as he's got the advantage again. And the penalties are really creeping up on everybody now.
Absolutely.
It was a Bloomy, Jacob, and Culture, the only ones without the black and white flag right now.
These drivers are keeping it very consistent. Rangers with 9, which will affect the finish here, especially if Mayer can keep up with him. It's going to be interesting to see how it ends here. 18 of 27. Dion and Liebert currently 5th and 6th. We have Rangers on pit road, but Dion and Liebert, they both have 12 seconds in penalties.
Rangers going into the pits to give him the spot to Mayer. So it would be interesting to see how much of a gap Mayer can be able to get in front before he has to pit as well. This could very well make the difference to the race here if he can be able to get a decent gap before Rangers, or even if Rangers can be able to get in front of Mayer, can he be able to keep it close enough that the penalties can still give him the win?
He came out on softs. I'm very curious, will he be able to last the entire race? You know, it says 6 to 7 laps for some of these guys. He's really going to have to save, and as you said, he's going to have to keep those penalties down. He's already hurting on the penalty front. So with Mayor of Bag City, he's keeping it very consistent, keeping it clean. Only 3 seconds in penalties. We'll see what Rangers can do.
Rangers could very well be looking for the win here. He's going to have to make a move with that gap in the penalties. He's going to have to do something big if he wants that win. So this could very well be it.
You can see him quickly approaching JC, who is currently sitting P3. Bloomy with a 3-second time penalty. His first penalty of the night. Only 2 drivers currently with no penalties. That would be Jacob and Culture. Closing that gap. Rangers is quickly approaching JC. This is going to be close, David. I don't know how these penalties are going to play out. I think a lot of these drivers are going to lose or gain positions based on what penalty they have. JC,
now, so
yeah.
Looking to see how the race for the exit comes out here.
Hawk moves up to second. Rangers moves up to second now. Mayor of Bag City, he's got to be on pit road. For some reason, it doesn't show me. There we go. Yeah, on pit road. JC on pit road. Dion, he is also on pit road.
So looking at it here, Rangers are ahead of Mayor by 9.5 seconds. So this could change the race altogether because he will be outside the penalty gap. So you can keep this gap so this wide.
Hawk trying to block. Yeah, Hawk was trying to block a little bit from Rangers. Rangers makes his way by, but man, oh man, he had to work for that one. Hawk on 12-lap-old tires. Rangers on those soft tire compound. He made his way by. We'll see if that held up Rangers enough for Mayor of Bag City. 9 seconds, as you said, is the gap for these drivers. It's going to be close. Mayor of Bag City is also now on the soft tire compound. We'll see if he's got the speed to close that up a little bit. I'm interested to see. All he has to do is take that gap down from 9.5 to 9, and he will have the win. Mayor of Bag City, that will be his second win. Hawk goes on to pit road. Rangers takes the lead.
Just actually to correct you there, Mayor need to bring the gap down to 6 seconds.
6 seconds. Okay.
Yeah, because Rangers has 9-second penalties, Mayor has 3, so there's a 6-second gap as he goes.
Okay.
As Mayor comes in and takes
right.
second place.
Math. Yeah, so he will have to close it up a little bit. He is currently closing that gap a little bit with 21 of 27. Man, I want to see if that's going to be enough. It's going to be very, very close out here. Let's go through and take a look at some of these battles. JC gaining a position. Stanton Drums out here so close. Looked like Justin kind of went over. Yeah, just a little bit over the curb there, so that's going to cost him some time. Bloomy right on top of him. These guys are just so incredibly close the entire night. You gotta love this racing. It doesn't get any better than that.
Not very much so.
All right, Mayor of Bag. Go ahead.
He's about to make a move and snap in here for sixth place. No, he's gonna have to hold back.
Yeah, it is gonna be close. Justin will try to set it up again to try to make that move once again. Here they go, side by side. Will he be able to hold on to it? Justin in 6th, Stanton in 7th. Makes the move, gets on by, but Stanton saying not so fast. I'm gonna try to do this again. I want my spot back. Sends it going into the corner. Justin with a phenomenal run off. Mayor of Bag City, fastest lap of the night with a 1:32.0. He is a man on a mission, closing that gap by 6/10. He's gonna have to possibly do better than that, though. 22 of 27. David, do you think Mayor can get it done?
Wait, I guess see he could be able to do it, but it looked like he was able to close the gap before, or the Hawk, I believe it was, before Mayor was able to overtake Hawk. It didn't look like he brought it down to 8 seconds, but he seems to be easing back a little bit. So
yeah, it is evening out.
I say we would have to at least bring it down to 8 seconds within the next 2 or 3 laps if he wants to close it enough. But like I said again, he only has to bring the gap to 6 seconds with these penalties that they are right now. But don't push it too hard. He doesn't want to make a penalty for himself and change the whole thing.
Liebert with another penalty. Yeah, Dion 15 seconds. Liebert 15 seconds. Penalties just really taking out these drivers of their position. Liebert with 15 seconds, currently sitting P3. That's going to hurt him for his spot. He's going to lose several. Possibly several. We'll see how that ends out.
Currently, I'm just looking at right here. Liebert with a 15-second penalty. What is it? Hawk will be able to catch him. You got 12 seconds on J-Mac with JC, I should say. Actually, need to change. Yeah, so do the math here.
Mayor of Bag City down to 8 seconds.
37. Curry right now, Liebert, I believe, would drop around to 9th or 10th, depending on how everybody else is doing.
Wow.
If you're looking at his penalties alone, he would drop 6 places.
That's incredible.
But then again, it's too much math to me to do right now. There's no penalties right now. But if it's just looking at him right now, he would, if it was just his penalties and nobody else, he would drop down to 10. So that's how bad these penalties can be.
Yeah, these penalties are crippling these drivers. Mayor of Bag City down to 7.7 gap. Closing it up, but will it be enough? He's got to get down to 6-second gap in order to take the win away from Rangers. It is going to be close. Lap 23 of 27 at this point. If he can keep up the way he's driving, you know Rangers, he is driving extra careful out here. He's got to keep those penalties away, but he also has to have the speed. So he's got two things he's really worried about right now. Penalties and speed. We'll see if he can keep both of these up and away from Mayer. But 7.5 gap for Mayer behind Rangers.
And looks like we have trouble. Sector 3, JC looks like he's spun out. Sector 3, he lost a couple of places. I think I did see him. He was in a battle with Hawk over 4th place. There must have been some, I don't know exactly what happened there, but it didn't look good for JC as he was off the track, basically facing half sideways.
Yeah, these guys, JC, Bloomy, Jacob, these guys are in a battle. This is going to be for P7. Again, any mistake you make is going to allow the driver behind you to take that position if it is a big enough mistake. Completely on top of each other. You could cover them with a blanket. I know I say it, but man, is that so true, especially right now.
One thing actually going into the mindset is if you take a look at the penalties, the wonder of if you know that you can be able to beat the driver in front of you with the penalties, do you hold back on trying to make the move and risk of causing an accident and falling even further back?
Yeah, that's going to be the tough part of this, but take a look at Mayor of Bag City. He has closed that gap even more so. He had it down to a 6.7, currently up to a 6.8, but 24 of 27. I really feel this is going to come down to the final part of the last lap to see who will win this race. Currently, Rangers will win, but if he can get that down below a 6-second gap, it will turn over to Mayor of Bag City. Liebert, he will lose out on his 3rd place, and he's quickly having drivers approach him. Hawk is directly behind him, going for position.
You're gonna have to bring it back here to the 6th place because we got a 4-way battle basically here from 6 to 9 with a second between everybody.
Hawk makes the move.
Takes that and they have a 6th place.
Yeah, these guys are so close. Take a look.
Oh, and Jacob spinning. Jacob was spun behind everybody.
So unfortunate for him as he tries to make his way back on the track. It's going to lose some time for him, but 6.8 seconds behind. Rangers Liebert, another penalty here, now up to 18 seconds, along with Dion for dub.
That's not what I was talking about. You want to get super aggressive. When you got these cars so close together, don't you get a lot of wiggle room here? I mean, trying to second guess him making a turn on Saturn there. Skyline making a penalty as well.
That brings him up to 9 seconds. Still quite a battle for JC, Stanton, and Bloomy. All of these guys, as you said, within a second or two. So it's going to be very, very close. Justin made his way through. He's got about a second gap between him and JC. He will be able to make his way by Liebert just based on the penalties. 6.5 for Mayor of Bag City. Let's take a look at him as he closes the gap. Oh man, will it be enough, David? Lap 26 of 27.
He's been able to close that gap from 9 seconds to 6.5 in about space of 5 laps. He only has to clear another half second in about a lap and a half.
Can he do it? This is going to be so close. JDM Culture, the only driver to not have a single penalty. I think we're going to see him gain some possible spots throughout this. 6.5 Mayor of Bag City watching him closely. 6.5 second gap. Pretty well steady out there. Not gaining anything, not losing anything. I don't know if it's going to be enough as we approach the final lap. Pokey fan, he is out here with another 3-second penalty, up to 12 seconds. Oh, this is crazy.
Oh, Mayor's got a penalty that changes everything.
Oh, wow. Very, very interesting. I just left his car off of camera there. As soon as we did that, got a time penalty. He now has to close that down to 3-second gap, and I don't see that happening on the final lap. Rangers, as long as he keeps it clean, he'll be okay.
I have to say, Rangers must have let out a huge sigh of relief seeing that come on the screen.
I think you are right.
Mayor closing him so long, it's like, can I keep him back? Can I keep him back? And now he's got the extra 3 seconds of wiggle room.
Yeah.
What he needs to do is take it home and not make any serious mistakes.
Look at that gap. 6 seconds. 6.1. Oh my goodness. And that thrown away with another time penalty. Heartbreaker.
Underestimate the power of those track limits, because they can get you when you least expect it, and at a worst possible time from Mayor.
He's still closing that gap. Rangers just has to take it easy. Don't get a time penalty. He will be okay as he is rounding into Sector 3. He's got Mayor of Bag City not too far behind, about 5.7 second gap between the two. Rangers gonna come around the final couple of corners. JDM Culture gets his first penalty here. All right, Rangers lap 27 of 27. He will be our winner here at the French Grand Prix. Huge congratulations to him. He has won every single race this season except for one race. Absolutely incredible. Mayor of Bag City, so close to that win. But unfortunately, he's going to come home second, I know, for him. It's going to be a frustrating night. Great finish, though. Can't complain too much about a P2. After that, JDM Hawk, it looks like he will be P3. Liebert, those penalties. I'm heartbroken for him, David.
Like I said, don't underestimate those track limits. Ooh. Just looking at Battle of Bloomy instead, going up for 7th place. It looked like Bloomy got a little bit loose, but they able to hold on.
All right, let's get these guys.
The mathematicians at F1 is definitely working overtime with all these penalties tonight.
You're telling me. We'll get these guys in the party, but wow. Incredible race. Very, very close battles all throughout. The time penalties, though, hurt some of these drivers quite a bit. You know, before I start interviewing, I'm going to go ahead and make sure that the podium finishers here are for sure. We have Leaf Justin going to be in 4th, JC in 5th. We'll make sure with the results here. But very close race. Rangers, I'm going to say that you're safe to bring home as the winner. The penalties, I know you had to notice. How nervous were you that you were not going to get the win tonight just based on penalties?
Very. Yeah, once I got the 9 seconds penalties and I was battling with Tim there, I really thought it was over, to be honest with you. I pitted early. That seemed to work. I don't know what happened to him getting on pit road. Sounds like something happened, but I definitely gained some time there. He was definitely faster than me, to be honest with you. I felt like, for sure. And I got bailed. I mean, I should have won that race, to be honest with you. Let's be honest. Like, I bailed out that race, but you know, we'll take it. You know, I don't like to win races like that, but it's just is what it is, and we'll take it.
That was going to be extremely close finish. Nail biter for sure. I was on the edge of my seat trying to see what was going to happen with the penalties, but you brought it home. A huge congratulations. You have been absolutely dominating. You've been dominating this season. So I got to ask, next week, how do you feel about the race? And I got to see, where are we at again?
At Austria?
Yeah.
Red Boring.
Yep, Austria.
Should be pretty fun. It's really fast, short track, so very it's gonna be easy to crash it around that place. It's just so high speed, and I look forward to it, and we'll see what we can do next week.
Absolutely. Well, huge congratulations to you once again. You raced hard. You got lucky with that final penalty from Mayor, but you brought it home. Great job.
Thank you.
All right, Mayor. I know you're probably frustrated. P2, though. That is absolutely incredible. A lot of great racing. What happened with that penalty?
It wasn't even the penalty, to be honest with you. I spun out and cost myself 8 seconds coming into pit lane, so that was the whole race right there. Penalties
yeah.
made a difference, period.
That was going to be
So
my
just
second
mad
question.
at myself, but happy that, I got P2 nonetheless. I don't think I even really got a penalty there. I just missed the corner, and it is what it is, but none of it mattered after I wrecked myself. But I can't be mad. P2, fastest lap, I raced hard, and it just gave me a lot of confidence knowing I could go wheel to wheel with Rangers over there and make them sweat a little bit, and hopefully carry that momentum into Austria.
Absolutely. You had a great run. I'm sorry to see the spin out early on with that. I know it would have been a different outcome from the sounds of it, so if that cost you that much time. We were kind of curious because we saw you drop back a little bit from pit lane there, so very interesting to watch, but a huge congratulations on P2. You had an incredible race.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, Hawk rounds out the podium tonight. Doing a great job. The penalties tonight was the huge story. You had six seconds of penalties. So a pretty solid night based on all these other drivers. How was your race?
Terrible. Didn't have the setup. I didn't have the right setup. I don't know how I fought my way back to the top 3. A lot of defense, DRS, and all that, but yeah.
You can't complain. You got a podium finish out of it for a terrible race. Not having your setup, that just sounds, that sounds absolutely terrible. But so I got to ask, how do you feel about next week?
I won't be here next week.
Well, that answers that. All right. Well, huge congratulations to you on P3. It was a wild race, a lot of battling back and forth between so many different drivers. So a lot of fun to watch. Next week is Austria, so it's going to be a wild race. We'll see how that goes, but penalties. Main story tonight, fun racing. David, thanks for coming out and supporting your fellow competitors and being in the booth with me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me there. Always trying to, I wouldn't say share my expertise, but at least a little bit of knowledge I've got.
You're more knowledgeable than me, a lot more so.
Well, we'll see what else Austria is like. Hopefully I may be in the carpet this time, but if all goes well, I can always come back in if you need some assistance.
There you go. Liebert, I'm crushed for you. You were having such a strong race. He falls to P9 after 21 seconds in penalties. Man, it's tough. Those penalties get you. Dion had the same outcome, 18 seconds of penalties. But thank you guys for tuning in. Next week, we are at Austria. So it's going to be a wild race. Be sure to tune in, 8 p.m. Eastern time. Tomorrow night, I will be in the booth over on the Traction channel, twitch.tv/TractionGG. It'll be for SnB's IndyCar series. I'll be back with Pete, so be sure to tune in. That will be around 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. So tune in. Say hi to us. See you guys later.